Manga-Waido.
My name is Tsutomu Morioka. I'm 35 years old. I work as a chief operator of a printing company's factory. I know it's not exactly modest to me, but I think with my position now, I have a bright future ahead of me. Thanks to that, I'm also responsible for the fire prevention, security, and other kinds of things within the factory. December is our busiest month of the year, and things were all very hectic. As we approach the New Year's, it'll become even more so. We were using our rotary offset press like crazy, and we were printing not only this year's but next year's advertisements as well. Most of them will be loaded onto the 10-ton truck for shipping. The factory was like a war zone. All our divisions like sales, production, printing, and processing were in chaos. One mistake could lead to a huge delay. I need to make sure not to make a mistake so that we won't be forced to reprint everything. We would be in big trouble if we didn't make the deliveries on time. Because it was such a busy season, the van that always came to the factory in the late afternoon was making our workers irritated. My junior co-worker, Takahashi from the sales division, came to the factory while I was working and complained. "The van came again! The one that parks here illegally? Wonder how many times they've done it this time." Maybe it's the second time? Since the beginning of last month, a black van had been repeatedly parking itself within the factory's grounds illegally. Our factory is rather large and there are many empty parking spaces. But of course, they are basically off limits to outsiders. I know who the van's driver is. He's got a tattoo on his arm and is a big guy. He seems like he would be particularly difficult to deal with. Should we paste a paper that's written "No parking allowed"? You can paste the papers all over the car. Don't do that. If the van gets scratched or dirtied, we would be at fault. This was the inevitable when dealing with illegally parked cars. If you touch their car, we could be accused by the car's owner. Goodness, the Japanese law is just crazy. Previously, we did contact the police to discuss this problem and they came to warn the driver. But a few days later, he would show up again. There was also a coworker who worked up his courage to go warn the driver. But the driver was such an idiot. "I just parked it here for a second. Don't be so stingy. You've got tons of open space here." Although this driver was at fault, he kept on shouting at my coworker. I have a friend who works in the real estate business. He has a wide network of people, and since he also knows people who are on the outskirts of society, I knew I could rely on him. I asked him what I should do regarding this idiot who parks his van on the factory's grounds illegally. I told him we didn't know how to deal with this problem. "It was smart of you not to touch this guy's car. If you had scratched it by accident, he could have made things very difficult for you." I see. I thought the same. Apparently there are those who provoke unsuspecting people and have them damage the car just so they can accuse them for it. According to my friend's own experience, the best thing to do is to continue reporting it to the police. "Make sure to note the license plate number, car type, and color, and don't hesitate to report to the police again and again." That's annoying. And I guess there's no other way. As the representative of the factory, I continue to report it to the police. The police came quickly each time. The idiot didn't seem to be bothered when the police warned him. This didn't solve the problem itself. One part of our parking area is located next to a private house. Most of the residents of this neighborhood put up with the factory noise because we're located on the border of the industrial and residential parts of town. We also try to avoid working nighttime and to reduce the level of noise as much as possible. However, this time, our residential neighbors started to complain about that van idiot.
"Please do something about this, really. My child is preparing for his entrance exam."
According to this neighbor, the idiot plays music so loud in his van that the whole neighborhood can hear it. I hadn't known that, since I spent the day inside the noisy factory. I didn't realize this. Other employees began to voice their dissatisfaction with the situation. "The guy like that keeps on coming in and out of our factory grounds. What would our clients think? It could ruin our reputation." It was true that if our clients thought that we were connected to such idiots, our business could suffer. Things were getting pretty bad now. We really needed to do something about it. I decided to gather my courage and to go talk directly to this idiot. In the late afternoon, the van came into our grounds while playing music with the bass that could be felt in our stomach. There was a woman riding on the passenger seat. The two of them seemed to be having a grand time. When I approached the van, oh, they're doing it! It was getting dark outside, but incredible that they could do something like that while parking their van illegally on private grounds. After the unnatural shaking of the van stopped and things calmed down, I knocked on the window. Hello, excuse me. Do you have a minute? Please don't park here.
What? What the hell? Who do you think you are talking to me like that, you bastard?
Yikes. He stinks of alcohol. Did you drive in this state?
What? Don't say funny things. My girlfriend drove the car here, of course.
Then why are you sitting in the driver's seat? I don't know what that woman thought, but she pointed her finger at me and started laughing.
Hey, you there. You look freaked out. A bit blue in the face as well.
Well, I'm not surprised. When I come near this window, the inside of the car just stinks rotten.
You bastard! How dare you talk to me like that? I'll call my buddies, yeah?
With his slurred speech, he told me that he's allegedly a famous member of a mafia group around here.
One of the leaders of the Manwa group is a friend of mine. He's got friends who are cops. We got nothing to worry about.
I started to get sick and tired of all this. I understand. Seems like you just won't get off our grounds. But I'll have you know that we are now closing down for the holiday season.
What the hell? For our love, there are no holidays.
Oh, honey. Do you want to do it one more time?
The talk was going nowhere. It was so infuriating that I didn't want to deal with them anymore. I left without a word. Inside the factory, the machines had all nearly been cleaned and the floor swept. Takahashi from the sales division came down to wish me happy holidays.
Hey, we're doing it?
Oh, wow. And what do you think we should do? Today's the last workday of the year, but we should lock the place up and leave. Shutters? Of course we'll shut them. I don't care what happens to those guys. I'm also responsible for managing the shutters at the factory's main entrance. Before I left, I made sure that every door and window was properly locked. After that, I pushed the button to close the shutters down. Have a Happy New Year! I won't be opening these shutters until next year when work would begin again. I caught Takahashi as he came out of the office. The thing we were talking about earlier, is that all set?
Of course, it's all set up. It'll be live streamed.
It'll be great. We both wished each other a Happy New Year and left work. On that evening, I received a call from the factory security company.
We're contacting you as there's been a problem regarding the security of your company.
I understand. Thank you for contacting me. I'll be on my way. When I got to the factory, the security company had already arrived. There were also security guards in full uniform standing ready, waiting for me.
It seems that someone tried to open the shutters by force. Also, the door next to it.
Oh! The door's lock's been broken by something. This is why the alarm went off. They had helped themselves to the factory's crowbar and screwdriver and just left them lying there. The car was also left on the factory grounds. The idiot couple was not there. The security company's personnel recommended me to report the incident to the police. The police came right away. With the police sirens, the place became very noisy. A few hours later, that idiot couple was found wandering around in the city and was arrested. Police brought the idiot back to the factory. As soon as he saw me, he looked ready to bite my head off.
Hey, you! You shut the shutters, didn't you? I won't forget what you did to us!
You think we'll just let this one pass? I'll make sure you spend the worst New Year's of your life.
Oh, really? Well, I don't think you'll be able to greet a New Year's as usual either. I had long ago reached the end of my patience. This idiotic couple needs to be punished. With this video as our proof, we will officially be bringing charges against you. With that, I showed the idiotic couple the video on my smartphone.
Oh my god! This is so embarrassing! Why is our car being filmed?
The woman covered her face. The video showed the black van shaking up and down.
What is this? When did you do such a thing? How dare you record such a thing, you bastard!
If we're to press charges, we need proof that you've been illegally parking your car here. That's why we recorded it. I didn't directly record this with my smartphone. Takahashi had set up a surveillance camera for this recording. The recorded video was then saved on my smartphone and Takahashi's computer. We had already submitted to the security company as well. With that, we officially brought charges against this idiot. We were nervous though, since he had mentioned he had connections to the mafia. But it's easy to let the fear get to us. We found out later the guy had no connections to the mafia. My friend from the real estate business had contacted the mafia group and confirmed it for me.
They told me they were gonna take revenge for using their name and deceiving you guys.
Later, the idiot was fined. Of course, that was not the end of the story. The idiot was chased all over town by the mafia group for having used their name. And finally, he had to skip town with barely nothing but for the clothes he had on him. From what I heard later, the guy escaped together with that flashy woman up north from here. Cold days will continue up there. I hope they'll survive such days. I imagine how the guy would be doing hard manual labor. As for the woman, with that, the idiot who had illegally been parking his van was gone, and things became peaceful again in our company. For now, I'm happy that I'll be able to enjoy my New Year's holiday.